Donald Trump is out here giddy about a government shutdown. He's celebrating it, almost rooting for it like it's a campaign rally. He's saying shutdowns are good because he can fire people and, quote, get rid of things Democrats like. So then a reporter asks him a perfectly reasonable question. If you've supposedly already gotten rid of all the waste, fraud, and abuse, then why do you need a shutdown to lay off hundreds of thousands of workers? And Trump? He gives the most incoherent word salad you will ever hear.
As we inch closer to a government shutdown this morning, you said you might do a lot of layoffs. If DOGE is already reducing the federal workforce, why is it necessary to link more federal jobs cut to a shutdown?
Well, the Democrats want to shut it down, so when you shut it down, you have to do layoffs. So we'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected, and the Democrats, they're going to be Democrats. As you know, this country, no country can afford to pay for illegal immigration, health care for everybody that comes into the country, and that's what they're insisting. And obviously I have an obligation to not accept that. That would affect everybody. You know, when I see what we're doing with AI and all the plants that are opening up in the country, $17 trillion is coming. And if you compare that to Biden had in 4 years, less than $1 trillion. We have 17 trillion, more than that. I think it's going to be much more than that, David. By the end of this year, I think it's going to be far over that. It's a record. It's already a record in 8 months.
What did we just hear? He jumps from Democrats to layoffs, to immigrants, to AI, to bragging about trillions of dollars that don't exist. He's not answering the question. He's just babbling. But it gets worse, and I want you to listen to this, that shutdowns are good because they allow him to target Democrats and get rid of programs he doesn't like.
Far over that. It's a record. It's already a record in 8 months. It's a record by a lot. And so we're doing well as a country, so the last thing we want to do is shut it down. But a lot of good can come down from shutdowns. We can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want, and they'd be Democrat things, but they want open borders. They want men playing in women's sports. They want transgender for everybody. They never stop, and they don't learn. We won an election in a landslide. They just don't learn. So we have no choice. I have to do that for the country. Yeah.
See what I mean? He's treating the U.S. government like it's his personal hit list. And then, in peak Trump fashion, he starts bragging about knocking down a blue tent near the White House. Hours before the government could shut down, and this is what's on his mind.
We've had a home run in D.C. You can walk out. Brian, you got mugged here a long time ago.
Yes, sir.
And the mugger must have felt some pain because you're a tough cookie.
Well, he had a gun, and I wish I would have had.
I know. Well, then, if he had a gun, all you can do is say thank you very much. Yeah, no, but it's everybody here. I mean, you were here in the room when I said to the reporters, who got mugged in the last year? And like half of the people raised their hand. Now, if you said who got mugged over the last 60 days, nobody, no killing, no nothing. And the restaurants are booming, the town is booming, it's clean. You know, the National Guard actually went out and started cleaning all the crap out of the parks. The tents are knocked down. We had one that you said it was a blue tent. And you said it was a communist tent, right? See, we're going to have a communist mayor of New York, so, you know, let's see how that works out.
And I've gotten a lot of feedback on that. Everyone's very appreciative.
Yeah. You told me about a blue tent, and I said, I can't be there because we knocked them down. But this was a very highly sophisticated group of people that had permits and all the other thing. Well, their permit expired. We knocked it down. It took, 24 hours less, maybe?
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate you telling me that. No, we have a great thing going. The country is doing incredible. We are a hot country. The hottest. We're the hottest country in the world right now.
The parents of the kids.
A tent. That's his big victory. Meanwhile, families are about to lose paychecks, benefits are about to be frozen, and this man is rambling about a tent. But here's the part that should alarm everybody. Trump brags that during a shutdown, he can make irreversible changes, and then specifically says he can do things medically. Just listen to this.
We have $17 trillion being invested, so the last person that wants to shut down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And, we're cutting that.
Now, when a reporter pointed out to Trump that federal law already prohibits funding healthcare for undocumented immigrants, that it's literally illegal, Trump had no response. His answer? I have a bigger heart than you.
Time for that.
They're not eligible for the health care subsidies that Democrats are demanding. So can you clarify, what are you talking about when you say Democrats want to protect their health care?
So when an illegal person comes in, a person who came into our country illegally, therefore breaking the law, and look, we all have big hearts. I have a bigger heart than you do. They're all breaking the law, and they're coming into our country. And we just, as a country, cannot afford to take care of millions of people who have broken the law coming in. We want them to come into our country, but we want them to come in legally. Now we have a strong border, very strong border, thanks to Christie and Tom Homan and the whole group. They've done an amazing job at the border. I mean, we had a border that was reckless. We had a border that was a disaster. They were coming in by the millions. I say 25 million people. You're saying less, but I say 25 million people came in illegally. And no system can take care of the health care of all of those people.
This man is lying to people's faces, gets caught, and then retreats into pure nonsense. So it's no wonder Trump's approval is in the gutter. In swing states and nationally, poll after poll shows Americans blaming Republicans and Trump for this shutdown mess, because you can literally see it in his face. He's happy about it. He's excited about hurting workers, cutting programs, and using chaos as a weapon.
Radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. Controlling the physical territory of our border is essential to national security. But I want to salute every service member who has helped us carry out this critical mission. It's really a very important mission. And I told Pete we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military. Because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big city with an incompetent governor, stupid governor.
Donald Trump just said the quiet part out loud. He wants to use American cities as training grounds for the U.S. military. Now, the reaction inside that room wasn't what Trump wanted. The military leader stayed silent. No applause, no cheering. And according to retired Lieutenant General Mark Hertling, that silence wasn't disrespect. It was discipline. It was a reminder that their oath is to the Constitution, not to Trump.
The UN speech he gave, so many things to talk about from that speech, but the war from within, as you just mentioned, and putting soldiers on American streets to train how to react to different enemies from within were two of the highlights that I wrote down. And it was just a combination of two things that I believe were leading to what we might see next. And the other thing I'd say is President Trump thrives on applause and cheering and interactions with an audience. And when he didn't get that and instead got quiet professionalism from the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines in the audience, that likely rattled them from the very beginning. And that silence wasn't disrespect. It was restraint and discipline and adherence to the oath of office.